The piano is the extension of your hand. I'm sure we are all familiar with this saying, but what does it really mean? How do we apply it? We'll go through that in this episode. Welcome back to Joy of Practicing. I am your host, Fer Vitala. The piano is an inanimate object. It becomes animated by whatever the player does to it, and it is a very sensitive and responsive instrument. In conclusion, it just projects whatever you do to it. But piano playing, and especially music making, is not about doing, and doing, yes? Once you activate a key, there's an instant feedback from the action. And this awareness of the feedback, which can be trained and developed, signals you the precise measure of movement to play the next note free and uncompromised. So, a lot of people panic when they see a lot of notes. And what happens usually, continuing our discussion from the previous episode, is the palm goes first before the fingers. So essentially you're just glazing. It's I'm but that's pressing, right? Like compare it to when I finish and having the buoyancy. That's different than right. It may be counterintuitive, but actually, in order for you to have the freedom and speed, you have to be on every note. I never go to the next note without completing the resolution for it. And I'm exaggerating the movement for you so you can see it, but eventually it will become smaller and smaller. You need to be able to do that before you do. The movement just becomes smaller and smaller, but essentially you have to feel what does it do? What do I need to do in order to move from one note to the next continuously without being spastic? Or if you're moving your palms first, it will well, no matter what fingering. I'm never gonna play fast that way. Okay, let's do this infamous Bruckmüller etude that your favorite neighbor's children likes to butcher. That's the most you will hear that kind of rendition. That's not only it's mechanically ineffective, it's musically gross. Like these two chords, for example, and this 2/4 measure. They're the same chords, but in order to sound organic, they need to relate from one to another. So I can't have the two same exact quality. That's just individual chords not relating to another. But if I do then it's shape. It has a correlation and it sounds natural. Now, let's go to the right hand. For this turn, for example, because it's written in such way, it's notated, the notation gives an impression of a shape. Usually, most people will do this in order to shape it. But if I do that, the movement is too big and my palm is actually moving before my finger. And for this to happen, for this turn to happen, you actually need to move very little. But you have to figure out which note is the most important. In this case, it's B. Because that's the center for your turn. essentially it's B to C and B to A, right? So if you have bayam, bayam, then you're breaking the turn into two smaller movements. Bayam, B, right? So you don't get, right? So eventually you get, and this is what I mean by engaging with the piano. You get an aggressive sound if you only, you're I'm always doing without relaying any feedback of the piano. But it is different when it happens. Let's go back to our D flat major scale. If you apply this principle of movement, you'll eliminate air time, because otherwise you would do, of course I'm exaggerating, but you only need to complete the fingers movement in order to propel yourself to the next one. So in a fast harp-like, your hands know where to go. I know that can be a lot of information in such packed short time. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to send them to joyofpracticing@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time.